Now, in a major relief for beer Biceps Ranveer Allahbadia, the Supreme Court has allowed him to continue making content, but on a condition of strictly not using any abusive and obscene words. The court emphasizes that fundamental rights aren't given freely and also stressed that comedy should be enjoyable for all. Responding to the aftermath of the viral incident at India's Got Latent, the court seeks a regulatory system without censorship and has expanded the scope of the case. I'm now being joined by my colleague Nupur from NDTV to brief us on the latest update.
Well, yes, today the Supreme Court, in a major relief to the YouTuber Ranveer Allahbadia, has lifted this restriction that it had earlier imposed on him that he cannot appear in any show. The Supreme Court granted this relief after Allahbadia prayed to the court that he has more than 280 employees for whom salaries he has to pay, and he requested that it is a matter of his livelihood and prayed to the top court that at least this restriction should be removed. So, keeping all this in mind and taking an undertaking from Ranveer Allahbadia that he will not further engage in any obscene commentary that he has done, and he will maintain the standards of morality in his shows. He has been allowed to further continue with his own personal podcast and appear in shows. However, the Supreme Court today has also asked the center to, in fact, come up with draft guidelines when it comes to regulating online content, and has said that there is a need to balance fundamental right to freedom and speech with against the morality of the society. And the Supreme Court, today also came down heavily on YouTuber Samay Raina without naming him. Justice Suryakant, in fact, today remarked that he has gone to Canada and made certain comments about the proceedings, and probably he's not aware about the powers of the court and jurisdictions of the court. And today, Supreme Court, really stood by its earlier stance that there has to be limits on the, obscenity in the content, and there has to be, some morality that has to be maintained. While even if it is comedy, it cannot be perverted as it was in India's Got Latent show. So, saying all this, the Supreme Court has asked the center to come up with draft guidelines after consulting all the relevant stakeholders. But the Supreme Court has also said that it does not want to do any censorship, but it wants to make sure that the morality of the society is not compromised and fundamental rights are balanced in that way.
Right, Nupur. Thanks for getting us those details there from the courtroom.